Good morning. My name is Adam Xu. I'm from Strategy End. The topic of my presentation is crossover. My company actually had more than 100 years of history. We used to be number 4 in 2014, and last year, PwC, an accounting firm, acquired my former company. PwC is famous for its accounting, and now it crossed the border. PwC is also very strong in consulting. That's why PwC acquired us. We can see a lot of examples about crossovers and cross borders, and we also see a lot of examples in food and beverage industry. Well, personally, I am the partner for food and beverage. I'm based in Shanghai. The topic of my presentation is crossover. I'm going to talk to you in the next 30 years about our observations. Which companies entered the food and beverage industry? Which companies that were not in this industry entered this industry? I think most of you are from the food and beverage industry. Are these companies opportunities for us, or are they challenges? So the topic I chose today is barbarian at the gate, or someone who you didn't know knocked on your door. Well, Jason talked to you about major trends. I think he's right. China's economy is now into a new normal. But for Tier 3 cities, the growth rate is is very high as 45%. So in that sense, China has a great opportunity. I think China is at a tipping point. There are some drivers that we need to take into account at this tipping point. These drivers will lead to faster changes in the market. The first driver is consumers. Generation Y and Generation Z have become the majority of consumers. They are the only child in their family. They are the single child in their family. There's another change with regard to consumers, is that consumers are much better educated. They have a lot of knowledge. They love to surf on the web, and they are the only or single child in their family. All these will lead to changes with regard to consumers. I think it is quite natural to have this kind of changes because in the West, we have the D generation or millennium generation, or baby boom generation. But it's very rare to have all the changes regarding consumers in China. The second driver of this tipping point is categories. China only needs 5 years to develop to the extent that Western countries needed 30 years to develop. There's another driver, channels. Well, we talked a lot about e-commerce. A few years ago, hypermarkets expanded very rapidly. But today, Walmart, Carrefour are now having some corrections. But on the other hand, convenience stores are getting bigger and bigger. And e-commerce. I visited a lot of markets globally, and e-commerce is popular only in 2 countries, the United States and China. In Southeast Asia, people talk about e-commerce, but e-commerce is not having a major impact. But in China, consumers find it very convenient to pay, very convenient to get the product. That's why e-commerce in China is becoming more and more popular. And in China, the e-commerce is different from that in the United States. In China, it is more labor-intensive. And the modern channel in China is just emerging. That's why e-commerce is developing faster than anywhere in the world. This has posed a great challenge to food and beverage manufacturers. Well, in Beijing, we don't have very good weather. It is very polluted. But for FMCG companies, I think they are also facing great challenges, just like Beijing facing haze and smog. Well, the topic of my presentation is crossover or new entrants in this industry. Please look at the chart on the left side. In the capital market, a lot of listed companies acquired food and beverage companies. The total consolidation value was 2.1 billion RMB. And according to statistics, a large number of big companies started to enter the food and beverage industry, in particular in 2013-2014, when food and beverage manufacturers had great difficulties. In 2013, 7 companies entered the industry. In 2014, 9 companies entered this industry. So what are the 3 types of these new entrants? I divide them into 3 categories. First, traditional Chinese medicine companies or healthcare companies. These companies started to make healthy products and uses healthy products to enter food and beverage industry. For example, Yunnan Baiyao, which was a miracle in toothpaste, beating Colgate and Crest. And this company is also making health food products. JZJT is now producing biscuits, and Dong'e is now making health food products. They make full use of their advantage as a traditional Chinese medicine manufacturer to produce healthy products. The second category of entrants is capital-intensive conglomerate. For example, Sinopec. Sinopec has a great advantage in terms of channels, and they launched a power drink product with a lot of exposure last year. And the hotel group we are now in is also entering food and beverage industry. These companies are capital intensive. For food and beverage industries, 2 billion or 3 billion is big enough, but they are much larger. The third type of new entrants is internet companies. They're not making packaged food or bottled water. Well, they are focusing more on commoditized products. Well, they are not successful yet, but they are emerging. For example, Lenovo, 360, LeTV, NetEase, and JD.com are also starting to compete in the food and beverage industry. I want to share with you some examples. Now, the first type of entrance, TCM, in 2010, Harbin Farm launched its branded bottled water. Because in China, there used to be a concept called big health. That's why a lot of pharmaceutical companies entered this industry. And in 2013, JZJT developed healthy snacks, mushroom biscuits, and Yunnan Baiyao also launched its functional beverage 2014. Yunnan Baiyao is now very successful in personal care products. Everybody knows these brands. Yunnan Baiyao is a pharmaceutical company with a great history. The company was founded in 1971 in Yunnan province, making TCM products. And Yunnan Baiyao is one of the earliest to enter personal care industry. In 2005, they started to make toothpaste, even with a premium, focusing on the higher end of the market. 10 years have passed. Yunnan Baiyao is now top 3 toothpaste makers in China, and the total value of its healthcare department is as big as 3 billion, accounting for 10 to 15% of their total business. So, Yunnan Baiyao is very successful. But apart from Yunnan Baiyao, other companies are also entering this market. Are they going to be as successful as Yunnan Baiyao? Yunnan Baiyao has a branch company, and this company is making beverage. Well, traditionally, Yunnan Baiyao is all about traditional Chinese medicine, medicine that applied on your skin. But now it is making beverage. Well, previously, Yunnan Baiyao started to make toothpaste using the TCM concept, and now Yunnan Baiyao is making a beverage. Why? Because Chinese people eat a lot of pork, and pork is very oily. And with this function beverage, you will be able to reduce the level of body fat. As a result, the concept is very appealing. Will this new product be successful? I don't know, but this is a nice try. In China, the number of new products is not big, but success rate is much higher than multinationals because Chinese companies know Chinese consumers better. Will this new beverage be successful? I don't know, but Yunnan Baiyao knows a lot about the health of Chinese people. They know what Chinese people are concerned about. That's why there's a chance for this product to be successful. So this is a very good example. The next example is JZJT Group. It used to be a SOE, state-owned enterprises, founded in 1969. It makes OTC products and patented drugs. In 2013, this company started to launch its mushroom biscuits in the market. Well, actually, as early as 2009, the company started to make healthy products. It reorganized its business. Well, it makes full use of its advantage as a TCM maker to appeal to the Chinese consumers. This is the product I was talking about, mushroom biscuits. And this product actually has a premium over products in the same category. The second health product it launched was blueberry and wolfberry beverage. Another beverage it launched was a mushroom beverage. According to statistics, this biscuit ranked number 1 on Tmall. Well, everybody knows Wang Laoji herbal tea, but nobody thought about launching herbal tea in a package. And actually, Wang Laoji herbal tea was a great success. So what about this product, mushroom beverage? Well, mushroom beverage become a new category. Will this category grow bigger and bigger? We'll wait and see.
I've already talked about this slide, so I'd like to move on to the next one. They're very successful because they understand the Chinese consumers. They would cater to the needs of Chinese consumers, and they would cater to the beliefs of the Chinese people on what is healthy and what is nutritious, and they would make them easily accessible in the right packages. The pricing aimed at the premium market. So you can see that this is a very interesting business model that we can analyze or study. Now, another company is DEEJ. It is a personal care and nutritious food product. It produces donkey hide gelatin related products. Chinese people consider that to be very nutritious. Donkey hide gelatin was originally used in Chinese medicines, and later on the group decided to provide food products with donkey hide gelatin as raw materials. DEEJ invested around 100 million in food-related production facilities. It also acquired a number of food companies. Initial data show that the company's food business kept growing, and currently the revenue is around 300 to 400 million RMB annual revenue, and in 2011 its CAGR was around 21%. This company launches a number of function and nutritious food products based on Chinese traditional medicine concepts. They cater to the Chinese people's need to stay healthy. There's a joke that goes like this. 10 years ago, foreigners find it very difficult to see why Chinese people want to get creams that could help them to whiten their skin. But the Chinese people find it very natural that they want their skin to be white and fair. Now, this is an example of a cultural difference. Another example might be quite different, and it can be quite unconventional. Many people in the industry find it difficult to understand. such actions. There are a number of major real estate companies that are going into the F&B business. In 2012, Star River Property started its own spirit beverage business, and in 2013, Sinopec started to launch its own F&B product. It runs a network of convenience stores in its gas stations, and it launched a goji berry beverage. And Evergrande announced that it would launch a premium water brand after the football team is sponsored, won Asian champion. And now it is thinking about entering the dairy and cooking oil businesses. Let's look at the company and its endeavor into food business. Evergrande was created in 1997. Now it is listed in Hong Kong. And 2013 figures showed that it was ranked number 2 in the real estate sector. In 2014, it started to enter high-end bottled water sector. Before that, companies such as Wang Laoji, as well as many other companies, are trying to launch their own premium bottled water brand. Let's look at its performance. We can't just say whether it is doing well or not. It is based on its annual report in 2014. After a year of development, its revenue is around 1.1 billion. However, it is suffering from a loss of 2.4 billion. And many distributors are offering discounts to move very high inventory. We can't just say it is not successful, because it might take some time for water business to be successful, because it needs to achieve economy of scale. Another example will be Sinopec. Sinopec is one of the 2 major petrol companies in China. In 2009, it started to launch its network of convenience stores located in their gas stations all across the nation. And in 2013, its Ningxia subsidiary launched a wolfberry beverage, wolfberry drink. There are a number of advantages from Sinopec's side. First, it could launch its products in its network of convenience stores, and the product is called Star Energy. I am really interested in its actual performance, because currently we do not have those figures. Goji berry or wolfberry drinks are rather popular. I think a few years ago, Pepsi-Cola launched a goji berry drink, but we haven't seen a very successful goji berry drink in the Chinese market so far. So Star Energy is a good effort, a good attempt at goji berry drinks. The product was launched in 2013, so it is still too early for us to tell whether this product is going to be successful or not. See, these companies are entering the FMCG sector. What are the capacities? What are the advantages or strong points of these companies? People these days are saying that people and companies with a lot of money are interested in investing in FMCG sector without much expertise. But it is a good way to disrupt the market. All of a sudden, we see a number of deep-pocketed new entries into the sector that are buying out advertisement slots. And that is very disruptive to the existing market. Now, next, I would like to talk about Internet Plus. JD.com announced in 2011 that it would enter the rice business, and Lenovo established a subsidiary to focus on fruit businesses. In 2014, a number of Internet companies follow suit. They announce their own food and beverage entities or subsidiaries. Lenovo offers us a very interesting example. Lenovo established a subsidiary named Joyville. This is a high-end food company, and it focuses on fruits such as blueberry, peach, etc. It proposes the concept of from field to table. It focuses on modern agriculture, and it has made a few investments. For example, it has invested in blueberry production in 2012. It acquired several companies such as Wallen Blueberry and China New Agriculture. Now let's study the case of Joyville. Joyville has acquired large plots of land to produce blueberry and peach. It also produces Chinese tea. It is very interested in controlling the entire supply chain from production to supply chain to the end users. Originally, agricultural businesses have a very long and decentralized value chain, but thanks to the development of Internet Plus, we see that the value chain is more integrated and products can be delivered to the end users at a much faster pace. A lot of costs can be saved. We see a number of Internet companies that focus on nut products that are doing very well by taking advantage of Internet Plus. Today we're talking about innovation. There are a lot of people that are very interested in food safety. That is why the company Joyville proposed the idea of full traceability, and it says that it has a cloud farm where consumers could trace the entire value chain. It produces products in China as well as South America. And we see from a number of dairy incidents that food safety is still a big concern in China. And if Joyville could control its farmland, then it is a big advantage. And the products are very popular among the middle class because they meet their requirements for healthier and safer food, and delivery is very convenient. This is, some people say, quite far away from the traditional FMCG, but it is not. In fact, in its product line, it includes beverages as well as dried blueberry. They can be sold on the same platform, and it is a very new case that's worth watching. Another example would be LETV's effort, and there are online companies that are offering crabs to consumers. For agribusinesses, the internet provides companies with this opportunity of having a big traffic, and they could take advantage of the number of users and sell products to the users. LETV uses its big fan base to purchase crabs from farmers, from producers, and sell them directly to their members and fans. This slide shows the example of LETV's effort to attempt to sell crabs to its big user base. Now, after all these cases, shall we look at these companies as a threat or a threat? Maybe TCM Chinese traditional medicine companies, they pose a threat to existing FMCG. For them, they do not create needs. All they did was understand the consumers' concerns and needs when they created so-called health or nutritious food that are priced very highly. They are threats to existing companies, but they do have the challenges in marketing or channel management. They're still on a learning curve. And these companies, many companies, are capital intensive, and they have their own channel. Sometimes they can disrupt the existing sector. Internet companies would offer us a lot of things to learn. They offer new business models. If I can use some jargons from the consulting business, maybe we can see number of internet-based business models that will emerge. Major companies such as Lenovo is interested in the food and fruit business, and that would really mean something. There might be many best practices or examples that we can follow. The next few slides are about our company's view of these cross-sector companies. In today's market, we see competitive advantages would be capital, technology, channel, or human resources. But what's more important in the future, as competition becomes more and more fierce and the market is changing rapidly, then we should always look at what's fundamental to deal with the changing market. We need to have very strong competitive advantages at all times. No matter if you are a cross-sector company, if you are a conventional FMCG company, you need to look at your advantages, whether it's your value chain, whether your product proposition on health, or your innovation. You also need to think about providing services based on the internet, because you have to look at all contact points with the consumers so that you could have the right to win. For cross-sectoral companies, sometimes they have very clear right-to-win strategies, but sometimes their strategy is not very clear. But we can't really say for sure that whether they are a success or failure yet. For TCM companies in China, they have a few strong points, and there are a number of successful cases already. That would conclude my presentation. Thank you.